Why does Paro let them get away with it? I mean, here's a man who bathed in the blood of children, and yet he lets them get away with it. Little backstory. You recall in the beginning of our Torah reading, Paro decrees the slavery over the Jewish people. He then gets information from his stargazers who have a history of accuracy that the savior of the Jewish people will be born. And so he calls in the midwives, Shifra and Pua, and he instructs them that when they deliver the Hebrew women, they should check. If it is a boy, they should kill him. If it is a girl, they should allow her to live. Yet, the midwives defy Paro. And then Paro confronts them. And then they tell him a story. Oh, the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. When we get there, they've already delivered. They don't need midwives. And Paro's like, okay, that makes sense. Fine, sure. So strange. What is your occupation? We are the midwives of the Israelite women. Do the Israelite women need midwives? No. This sounds like some sort of silly joke. It's like being the front door locksmith for 7-Eleven. They don't lock the door. Why would you need a locksmith? If they don't need midwives, why are you the midwives? And who are these people, Shifra and Pua? Rashi tells us that that's not their names. That Shifra means that she beautified the children, and Pua, that she sang them lullabies, and that they were actually Yocheved and Miriam. Moshe, who hasn't been born yet, his mother and his sister. What's with all the secrecy? Why can't you just tell us that it's Yocheved and Miriam? Why do you have to use these code names? And so herein lies not only the particular issue about the midwives, but what baffles Paro initially, and why he even tolerates them and doesn't have them executed for defying a direct order. Our parsha opens up that generation that came down from the land of Canaan. Jacob and his 12 sons and all of their families have all died out. And suddenly the Egyptians turn on them. Why? They were such honored, welcome guests. Yosef had rescued the entire nation of Egypt, turned it into the mightiest superpower. Last week, when we read about Jacob's burial in the land of Canaan, the Canaanites said, Egypt is in mourning. How did it go sour so quickly? And so we explain that the Egyptians tolerated that first generation. You know, they came over from the old country. They spoke their old country language, read their old country newspapers, ate their old country food, and were still engaged in their old country culture. The new generation, born here in Egypt, they'll become Egyptian. They'll take on our ways, our clothing, our names, our language, our identity, our values, our gods. And when they don't, the Egyptians become frustrated. They're somewhat baffled and a little bit, or maybe more than a little bit, insulted. Don't you want to be Egyptian? Doesn't everybody want to be Egyptian? You came to this country, we took you in, we rescued you. Don't you have the gratitude to act as we act, to be as we are? You people are too isolated up there in Goshen. We got to get you into downtown Egypt. We got to put you to work. We have to evoke your patriotism. And then you'll see, you'll become Egyptian just like us, and you'll be so grateful. You will be so happy to be Egyptian. But it didn't work. The more they oppressed them, the stronger they became. And so Paro came up with this most vicious of plans. And when he calls in Shifra and Pua, and they defy him, they explain, no, Paro, you don't understand. The Hebrews are not like the Egyptians. Our values are not their values. Our mission, our purpose, is to bring about the relationship between the children and their mother, to make them beautiful. Our mission is to soothe the sore soul, Pua. That's who we are. That's what we bring to the world. You, Paro, think it's all about the biology. It's all about the mechanics. It's not. It's about bringing beauty into the world. It's about bringing calm where there is chaos. That's the message that we bring. And Paro is baffled by this, but he says, wow, you people are weird. You're different. You're not only interested in the what's in it for me. You're not only interested in the materialism. You're interested in bringing beauty to the world. You're interested in soothing relationships. How odd. How strange. You go. I'll find someone else. This is the ultimate defiance of Egypt. Whereas Egypt says, it's all about what's in it for me. Torah says, the Hebrew women say, it's about how can we make the world a more godly place? How can we bring about more beauty? How can we bring about more joy? How can we bring about relationship healing between parent and child? That's what we're about. Not about the accumulation of matter, not about bricks and mortar, not about building the cities of Pithom and Ramses. Let us continue to defy the message of Egypt, and let us bring forth the message of holiness, that it's about bringing godliness and beauty to the world, not about what we can get, but about what we can give, like Shifra and Puah, who are ultimately, of course, rewarded with the sons Moshe and Aaron. Good Shabbos.